Hello, traders, and welcome to TradingWithBill.com. I'm Bill. We're in Pattaya, Thailand. It is a Wednesday morning, 6:49 a.m., and we're getting ready to do it. Traders, what's going on outside? Smog. We are smogged in Thailand. Yeah, a lot of smog. Yeah, they say it's really bad in the capital, Bangkok. They say the levels are just horrible, but usually it clears up here. It's cloudy days, but it looks the smog clears up by about noon, 1 o'clock. So that's the big news in my side of the world. We're smogged in, right? All right, so here we are on a Wednesday. The big Brexit thing. Theresa May's deal got shot down yesterday. Now you got to all understand something. I'm not familiar with what's going on over there as far as how it works, but we need to know how we're going to react as far as trading goes. And there was a trade yesterday, and I didn't click the trigger. I was there, but I didn't click the trigger. Guess I don't know. I believe just don't get in front of the freight train, but it ended up working out on that euro. So anyhow, this is what came out like, what does it say, an hour ago this came out. So investors should limit their exposure to the UK assets as financial markets remain vulnerable to political volatility. So Theresa May's Brexit divorce deal by a crushing margin, triggering political chaos that could lead to a disorderly exit from the EU or even a reversal of the 2016 decision to leave. This is probably the most important part. Market volatility will subside until a concrete conclusion to the process emerges. So, what do you do, right? So, that's something I think it's something that we're gonna have to pay attention to as time goes on. But I guess it just goes on and on, right? But it doesn't look good, right? Doesn't look good. So this came out at 2 a.m. My time, which would be 1400 hours on Wall Street, and that's what they were saying. They were saying between 1 and 2 o'clock, the vote would be over and it'd be done. So this came out about that time. Crude oil came out. Electronic card retail sales for New Zealand came out, and I don't see a little bit of a blue candle. We'll look at that in just a second. Westpac consumer sentiment came out. No forecast. Doesn't mean nothing to me if there's no forecast, right? German CPI today. German HICP today. Pound. BOE Governor Carney speaks today. That's about an hour and 15 minutes into the London session. So we'll keep an eye out on that. CPI out of the pound, month on month, year on year. Gross mortgage approvals, PPI input. So pretty busy day out of the pound today. Italian CPI comes out today. U.S. has core retail sales month on month, export prices index, import prices index, retail sales month on month. Quite busy in the U.S. today. Business inventories is coming out today. Factory orders comes out today. Crude oil inventories, crushing crude oil inventories. So quite a busy day today in the U.S. and in the London session. So we got a pretty good day of stuff going on. Just want to see if there's anything that we should know about before Asia tomorrow. We've got tick long-term transactions, and so that's what we'll just know. That's coming out earlier before Asia. So that's what's going on, my friends. I was reading an article earlier this morning on Miami International Airport in the U.S. Had extensive lines. I'm not getting into politics. I promise you, I'm not getting into politics. But I just think if people work, they should get paid. And what's happening now is these government workers that have been from the shutdown have not gotten a paycheck, and so they're calling in sick. And they're probably driving a taxi to make some money to feed their families. I just don't think it's the right thing. I think if you work, you get paid. You You want to do something to prove a point or whatever, that's fine, but you have to pay your people. That's the bottom line. People need to be paid. So, like I said, I'm not getting into my side of what I think politically, but if people work, they need to be paid. That's all I'm going to say. If you work, you got to get a check. That's the way it works. All right, so that's my 2 cents with. I really don't have no rants today. Pretty smooth day yesterday. Nothing big, nothing outrageous. So here we go. Let's take a look at what happened in the U.S. session yesterday. I was in the U.S. session for about 45 minutes. So crude is now back to this 51.92 area. So it's just hanging out there. Now, you remember we talked yesterday at this level, right? At that 53.18. It stayed below it. It wasn't able to take out that high. So it stayed below it. So here it is. It's just hanging out. It's going sideways really for the last 5 trading days. So we are starting out today with a red candle. So we'll watch that. Dollar index popped up. Actually, the dollar index popped up to 96.26. And now we're down at 95.96. I don't see a lot of significant movement in the markets from that. I think the movements we're going to look at charts is probably from the Brexit issue. So we'll see about that. Really unbelievable that the VIX is at 18. I got to be honest with you, that's pretty amazing that the VIX is at 18 in the second week of January. I don't get that, but all right. ES is pretty much sideways. It did make a higher high yesterday. It did come up to this level here and ended up coming back. And we start today with a green candle. So it's been riding this exponential moving average all the way up. And I would think if you fib this, we're probably at the 50% or the 618 fib here. And, if you look at that, technically, we're looking at the ES is going up to the 200 exponential moving average. You would think, right? Technically, that's what you would look for. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. And as you know, William says, this is the Euro Futures /6E. William says, sell the euro. And if you did that yesterday and held on, you did really, really well. It was a high risk, though, but you did very well. So that's what's going on. Gold has really not done anything. It's been sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, right? It hasn't really done anything since that high right there at 121.48. So it's just hanging out sideways, not doing a thing, same as oil. And that's what we would expect when we look at this. All right, so let's do it. Let's get to what we come here for. Let's take a look at charts, see if we've got some trade plans for today. Here's the euro. Now, I was at my charts 90% of the 85% of the day yesterday. I went out, whatever. But, now, here we are. This was yesterday's, right? This sunk off of this 200, right? I watched this. I was here. I saw this level. I didn't see anything. I saw a blue candle here. This takes the dive down. I'm not chasing it. If I was going to be in it, I should have been in it from the 200 exponential moving average, right? That's the learning point of this chart right here. If you were going to be short in the euro yesterday, you should have been short at this red candle, right? This spikes through, closes below the 200. This is your short. Your stops here, nothing, barely draw down, very little, and then you take this down. Now this, moves, comes sideways, pulls all the way back up to, up to this now resistance area, right? And then of course this is the big Brexit vote here. So, this was one of these trades where if you did take this trade from here and say you were still in it at here, right? Like you're going to stick your stop here, you would have got stopped out, right? If you stayed in it and you're in Asia and you came to your charts early this morning, you're pretty happy because this Brexit candle worked for you, okay? And then this just moves along here. I always say about news that comes out, data that comes out, don't step in front of a freight train. Sometimes you get lucky. This actually worked as far as it went with the trend, and that's a good thing. But again, don't step. Listen, I was waiting for this to close below this and show me a red candle to the downside, and I probably would have entered this. But I was concerned about this, which is now resistance, but was support, and that it closed below it. I saw this, and this popped right through it pretty quickly and just hung out there and didn't do anything. And then, of course, this just banged to the downside. This was a pretty quick candle. I was sitting at my desk. I watched this whole thing. And I said, well, I'm out. You know, and then, of course, this. Well, I was probably asleep by then. Yeah, well, I was probably asleep by then. So, anyhow, that's what's going on. What are we going to do now? Well, the way to trade this now is we're going to wait for this price action to come back up to here. We're going to throw a Fibonacci tool on here. And we're going to basically just take this swing here. All right, take this swing here. So, you know, really the 618, you could take that down, but, you know, with the 5-0, you're already in trouble already, right? So you really want this to come up to the 786, right? The 786 Fibonacci level right here. That's at 1461. We're now at 1440. So, you know, 23, 24 pips away, you know, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I was up here. Woo-hoo. Wake up, Bill. Our current price action is at 1413. So, you know, you got 30 plus pips to get up here. Yeah, it's a long ways up there. You can counter trend this, right? The 10 AMA is below price, right? Candles above it. You can take it up. If you get in here at, say you get in at 1420, you know, at 14,
it's 7 hours.
At 1435, you're going to hit this 55 EMA. That's a little tight, right? I'm going to just wait because this can move up pretty quick as we move into our day. We got data coming out, stuff to move this along. So I'm going to wait for my trade. And my trade is I want this to come back up to this 200, up to this resistance level, and the 786 Fibonacci level. It just looks really perfect, and we'll sell it from there. That's my take on the euro. Let's take a look at the pound. So this, you know, now I mean, I saw some of this yesterday, but I really just didn't pay attention to it because I wasn't interested, right? I mean, this worked out really nice. The big news came out, bing, 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 all the way up she goes, right? And here we sit. However, the good news is we're in a great position to sell this, right? We really are in a great position to sell this. We're at resistance levels, right? We could take this to the downside. You know, if you take it here, yeah, you got this. You got a 10 and a 55 right here. You know, you'd like to see this bump up to this 29. Really, that's 29.30 area. Like up here would be like probably the dream trade, right? Like 21.30 up here. You know, if you get banged around here, you got room. So you got a couple of places that you can really enter this stuff. If it ends up falling from here, you know, you can wait till it closes below the 200 and then sell it from there. There's wide open space here, right? This is a wide open space, right? You take this to the downside. You know, I got to be honest with you. Even if you take it from here, there's not a lot of junk here. You know, there is over here, but there's not a lot of junk on this chart. You know, this is, you know, we talked about this, I think last week, about the V reversals. You remember we saw last week we had, you know, it was pretty quick, you know, and here we go again with a V reversal comes down. But you see we have two candles, continues down, and then makes the move to the upside. So it always goes back to where it started, and it's pretty close. So now we're looking at, you know, to get this to the downside. I think my biggest concern, as usual, you know, as always, is this 200 exponential moving average, right? You know you're going to get a bounce there. At a minimum, you're going to get a bounce there. But I'm not against selling this, my friends. I'm really not. I am not against selling this where it's at. You know, if this closes below this, you know, the support level here, you know, I'm not. But look at this 10 EMA shooting straight up. I'd have to wait. This is not going to happen quick. This is 3 hours, 4 hours away, right? You know the old saying, we want to put in our mind where you think price is going to be three candles ahead, right? Well, I think 3 candles ahead, there's a good chance we're going to be sitting on this 55. Or maybe this 10, you know. But it is Asia, you know. Now, what if it takes out this high, right? What if it takes out this candle right here? If it takes out that candle right there, I'm not going to do anything, right? Because now my mindset's going to be, this is going up to that next level, which is that 29.15, 29.20 area, and we hope it breaks that and goes to 29.30 or 40, then we'll sell it. So we'll see what happens. You know, the dollar is, you know, a little bit weaker than yesterday, and we're just going to play this out. But I said 3 candles. We might be at this 55 in a half hour. Yeah, this looks like this is pulling on down here. Don't chase this. Now, you're not going to see this because it'll be an hour before this gets up onto the, into the internet after I have to render this and all that good stuff. Let's take a look at the Aussie. Take a look at the Aussie, have a little bit of coffee. I'm not really jumping to do anything here. This is in a really messy area. There's a lot of junk here. I'm not interested. I'm really not. To be honest, I'm like looking here. Alrighty? I really want this to pull back. Give me a shot up to there. 72.30. There's 72.30, 44. You know, somewhere in here, I would look at this resistance level left of this chart here. This wouldn't be bad at 72.23, but you know, you're coming down in that 7,200 area, and you're going to get a bounce there, right? So I'd rather be up at 72.30 or 40 and get bounced around at the 7,200 than only be, you know, 18 pips from the double zero level of 7,200. So, you know, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Now, what if this closes below this 200? This closes down here, folks. And this breaks this here, right? This breaks this here. I'm in. 71.80. 71.80 is the trade. Right? Wide open space. There's nothing down here, folks. Nothing. This is the trade. 71.80. We're going to sell this bad boy. I don't want to fight this. You know, we got a confluence there. We got a 55. We got a 10. There's a 200. I don't want to fight this. This is going to be a pain. It's going to be a pain, right? That you don't want. So let's get down here. 71.80. 71.80. We're going to take this short. That's the trade. Or 72.40, right? Somewhere in that area. If I give you a number, it's a zone, right? It's an area. It doesn't have to be exact. Good stuff. Good stuff. What else is going on? What else we got moving around here? Wow, look at this. You know, we talked about this the other day. Look at this Euro Aussie. I even said this thing has a good chance. It's just going to continue to dribble to the downside. And it did. It broke this here, right? And bam, there. This, you know, sitting through this was misery, right? If you're in this trade here, you're like, oh my goodness. This spikes up, you know, hopefully your stop is up there, but you know, who knows? But, you know, I mean, if I was in this trade, there's a good chance I'd put my stop probably 5 or 10 pips above, you know, this 55. I probably would have got stopped out here, right? But now, this is sideways, this bounces down a little bit, now it's sideways. It's just dribbling down, you know, slowly. It's riding this 10 EMA very nicely. It's riding the 10, you know, not giving. There's no entry here, folks. There's no entry here. You can't just pop into this and say, "Oh, I'm gonna take this trade." No, you can't. It's just, you know, it might work, it might not. But this might, you know, say, "Hey, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go, you know, 50 pips to the upside," right? So yeah, we can do a fib just to do that. You know, we could fib this a little bit here. All right, so we can see what's going on. So we want this at this 786. 59.50. 59.50. We want to sell this, right? Take it to the downside. 59.50 on the Euro Oz. But, you know, this pair does what it wants. It's really a great pair to trade. If you're in it, you can really do well in that. All right, my friends, I think that does it for today. Anybody has any suggestions or something you want me to look at, please just put it on my YouTube channel, and I'll get your comments, and we'll do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to look at something different on a regular basis, throw it in there. You know what? There is one pair I do want to take a look at. The Beast. Pound yen. Yeah, look at this, huh? Bam, bam, same, right? Just like the pound dollar, just really just took off. Now we're here. This was the trade, right? So we missed the entry. You know, I was sound asleep at that point. But this was the trade, right? This was it. Boom. You know, you wanted to be short here. You know, that's where you want it to be short. That was resistance. This V comes up, goes sideways. You know, this red candle, boom, down. You know, you sweat this out for 2 or 3 hours, but you come back to your charts, and here you are. Now, you know, on saying that, really, maybe that wasn't the entry. Maybe this was the entry, right? Maybe that was the entry. Yeah, so maybe we could have taken this here, taken that to the downside. You know, when you see these V reversals like this was only one candle. You remember the other chart had 4? One candle, boom, and then shot back up really big. This big candle here, V reverse. So, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen here? Well, it looks like we're late to the party. I wouldn't jump into this now. I'd sit this out and wait probably till about 90 minutes before London opened. That would be the one to do. Traders, thank you so much for being with me today on a Wednesday in Thailand. Great to see y'all. What's important? Traders, trade smart, not hard. And what's more important than that? Let's have a little bit of fun. Traders, have a great trading day. I think it's going to be a good day. I think we're going to have a little bit of volatility in the markets. This is what we want, up and down. We want to see prices going up and down, and we can get some trades done. Traders, thank you so much, and we will catch you tomorrow morning in Asia. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.